let's talk about where I'm working in the house real quick. That's pretty simple. Everywhere. I'm working everywhere. I have an alliance with almost everybody in this house, but I'm only true to a few of them. Ashton and Lane, I'm true to them. And then Chris, I'm true to Chris. As for now, that's not going to last long because Chris scares me too, but using Chris is great because everyone's going to listen to Chris. So then there's the fun alliance that actually has a name and none of them have names, and it's the monkeys in the middle. Who are the monkeys in the middle, you ask? That's everyone that's not in a, well, no. That's everyone that's not in a split in the house, and the split is obvious. It's the couples, it's the anti-couples. There's the monkeys in the middle, who are me, Tucker, Jenny, and Chris, and we got a solid number. If we get rid of one couple, we're the only group of four. And then there's Tyler. Who's Tyler?
Being so dumb in this game. Bradley's plans right now are to put up Ian and Daniel. Why in God's green earth would Bradley put up Ian and Daniel? It makes absolutely no sense. Ian and Allie, trust me and Ashton to the ends of the earth because we're all they have. Bradley's a package deal, and so is Jenny, and so is Tucker. We're one. We have the numbers. We can take out Chris, a huge threat. We can take out Sarah, huge threat. We can take out Sarah, huge threats. We can literally put up Daniel and Tyler, pull one of them off, make a side deal with them. They vote with us, and we throw Chris up there, get Chris out week one. He's a huge threat. And Bradley wants to get out his alliance member Ian, and we told Bradley, you're not going to have the numbers to win this vote. Me, Ashton, Allie, Jenny, Tucker. 5 against the 4 on the other side. All vote to keep saying that, but all 12 of us are big-time players. All of us are threats in our own way. Everyone is a big player, so every move is going to be a big move. We can't just fly under the radar in this game. Like, it's impossible. Everyone is heavily involved. Bradley needs to just start thinking about these kinds of things, or he is going to be in so much trouble. Not just from people who are going to target him like Chris and like Sarah when she's done with them, but people like Ian and me who are on his alliance.
So the Couples Alliance has officially decided to become a Final Four Alliance, and we've come up with a team name. We're the Four Horsemen, because we're going to end everyone's game. My alliance name, I'm War, because Sarah has basically already declared war on me, so might as well fight back.
It's day 2, and we have officially made our Final Four deal. That Final Four is me, Ashton, Allie, and Ian. We are known as the Four Horsemen. All of us represent a different member of the Four Horsemen. Ashton's famine, Ian is war, Allie is death, but I'm conquest, because it is my mission to conquer this entire house and take over and be the leader. Bradley, Chris, Sarah, I'm coming for you.
Ashton, Lane, Ian, and I have created a Final Four alliance called the Four Horsemen for the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. My new name is Death because I killed Sarah's plans to work with Ian.
Second one, real quick, nominations, my thought on them. Ian's my obvious target right now. It serves a bunch of purposes. One, it gets rid of Ian. Ian scares me. He's very manipulative in the game and a very powerful player. 2, breaks up a couple, gets that group of 4 down to 3. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That's a couple gone.
Alright, plain and simple. 2 people going on the block. First one's going to be Daniel. I don't really know Daniel that well, so that kind of makes me a little nervous. Second person I'm putting on the block is Ian. You're a strong, powerful player, and my best advice is going to be win the veto.
The reason I put Daniel up next to Ian is for 2 reasons. One, it makes my side look like he's the real nominee. It makes the other side look like he's a pawn. Ian's a pawn. Daniel's a pawn. Everyone's a pawn. I'm a pawn. You're a pawn. We're all pawns. But if Daniel goes, that splits up the we're not a couple that is Sarah and Daniel. Can't lie to me.
It's day 1. The plan to go after the couples has been outed, we think, by Ian. Wayne knows that Sarah was coming for him and Ashton. It's getting cold. I feel alone. My shirt is gone. I don't know if I'm going to last throughout the week.
So this morning was the first nomination ceremony, and of course, one of our Alliance's best competitors and my better half is the one who's on the block this week. So since day one, lines have been drawn in the sand very clearly between Sarah's side of the house and everyone who's in a couple. But I think we have the numbers.
Okay, I have something to say. If we're targeting couples, that's stupid. Because one, we were a couple before this freaking show, so you guys gave us no choice but to align together because you guys already targeted us. Two, Sarah and Drew are a couple, they're brother and sister. Sarah and Daniel are a couple because they're friends outside of this house and nobody else knows them. Jenny and Tucker are a couple because they're both from Anderson. Me and Bradley are a couple because we're brother and sister. Bradley and Chris are a couple because they're best friends. Literally, this whole house is filled with couples, so it's not fair to make that be a reason to evict people because we're couples outside of this house. We didn't have a chance to build relationships in the house because you guys chose to make the groups from what the outside is. So that's not fair, and if that's how you're playing this game, then you're a piece of crap.
So, update. Ian and I tossed around the idea of vetoing each other. Bradley says he's got a plan that will seem really sketchy, but to trust him. But at the same time, I think he's conspiring with Lane, who is part of the couples. Now, as I understand it, Lane is dating Bradley's sister. So, fudge.
My thoughts on the couples and the anti-couples. This was obvious. This was just clear, smart, strategic game move for both sides, sort of. The couples had no choice. They're going to be targets, so they had to work together. They had to band together as many as they could, but everybody they banded to get with them is going to vote against them, hopefully. I'm safe. I'm HOH. Anti-couples, you screwed yourself up by targeting a bigger group, but it's going to work. Numbers, real quick. 4 couples, 3 anti-couples, 4 monkeys in the middle, Tyler, whatever. Get rid of a couple, get rid of Ian, gone. So that makes the couples 3, the anti-couples 3, the monkeys in the middle 4, where we would hold the power, and I believe Ashton and Lane will still vote on my side, especially if we target the anti-couples. That knocks them down to 2. I stay in the side that has more power, obviously, as long as I'm not a target. Won't be. And one last thing to mention, the best part of it all, it goes one way or the other. Now, unless I put Allie up. If I put Allie up when Ian goes out or when anyone goes out and put both of them up, then it's clear that I had the side to choose. But if I keep the nominations the same, Ian goes home, I lie. I had no idea. Clearly, somebody else is the rat in the house, and somebody else is working against them, and somebody else lied. Not Bradley. Ha!
After a great deal of deliberation, internal conflict, and threats of grievous bodily harm, I've decided to use the power of veto on myself. This may be the obvious choice, but it didn't come lightly. Ian, sorry, but asking me to veto you was just too much to ask. Good luck.
Bradley's going to replace Daniel with Drew, which might not be the best option, but it leaves him from looking too culpable in a potential plot against Ian. But I'm pretty sure once the vote comes out, that'll become clear. Is it a good move? We'll have to find out.
Since Daniel has pulled himself off the block, I am going to replace him with Drew.
I'm just kind of baffled as to what Bradley is thinking, putting me on the block. I thought we all kind of had a plan here, but apparently Bradley was not in on it.
Drew, you haven't talked to me once in this whole game, and as soon as you get put on the block, you text me. But your pitch to me was that you were targeting me. So why would I save you? You truly are a big idiot.
So Ian just messaged me and was like telling me all these reasons why he did what he did and why he thinks that it would be bad for me to vote him out. And it just was so personal, and it makes this game so much more difficult because now I've heard directly from both Drew and Ian, so voting for either of them will feel like some sort of betrayal in real life. Ooh, this game is tough. I think at the end of the day, I'm more worried about winning than the fun, and that's interesting because I don't often feel that way.
Hey Josh, I vote to evict Ian.
Hi, Julie. I happily vote to evict Drew.
Sarah, you've been targeting me since day one, so it's time for me to evict your number one. I vote to evict Drew.
We have a message from Aftercare. 1, 2, 3.
Hey Josh, looking good tonight. Just wanted to say that I sadly vote to evict Ian. Sorry buddy, wasn't actually a part of your alliance.
This was the first vote, and it feels like it might be the toughest vote. There are no good options. Either way, I'm sending a friend home. But I vote for Ian.
Hi Josh, you look beautiful, and I very happily vote to evict Drew. Happy birthday, Dad.
I'm gonna have to vote to evict Drew.
I vote to evict Ian because Drew scares me more.
Attention house guests, the votes are in. Once I announce the vote, the evicted house guests will have just a few minutes to collect their belongings and say goodbye. By a vote of 5 to 4, Ian, you have been evicted from the Big Brother house.